everyone. Welcome in, welcome to stream. Hello, everybody. It's Spooky Month. I missed last week's beginning of Spooky Month. Hi. Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to stream. I'm back. Wow, it's television. It is me. Hi, Oz. Hello. Hello. It's spooky season. It's Spooky Month. It's the good month. It's the good month. It's the month that matters. But hello. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to stream. Like the stream name says, today what we are going to be doing is we are going to be doing monster design. We're going to be talking about monster design, spooky and non-spooky, because I find that everybody tends to lean to one or the other, and I think it's important to talk about both, because monsters in general they're fun. They're fun to work with. They're fun to design. They're fun to incorporate into a lot of things. It's the month I can draw a character wearing random nonsense and no one will question it. True. I like the spooky. Me too. Yes, it's Corn. Corn is my spooky boy, my spooky baby. But alright. Before we get going, we all know the drill. We all know the drill of the beginning of the stream, because if you didn't know, our growing community is filled with tons of art nerds, and we art nerds have to stick together. So, if you are an art nerd too, be sure to check out the links to our social media in the description below, and check out our website for art class offerings, where you can get critique, guidance, and encouragement from our instructors, because we're not just a YouTube channel, we are an art school too, so if you'd like to support us so we can keep making free content, consider supporting us on Patreon. Consider supporting us by becoming a YouTube member for exclusive channel perks like emotes and sub badges, or supporting us on Patreon for as little as $2 per month, where you can get access to tons of perks like my working files, critique sessions, and a huge class recordings, and a huge discount on our classes that have a limited amount of spots, so be sure to check those out before they are gone. My voice is doing so weird right now, so like, I apologize. That was hard to say. Baby Venom. I can talk fast. Yeah, it's what happens when you, do that ad read a lot. Loved your new corn art on Twitter. The cute boy's spooky too. Glow up. Yeah, no, my boy can get spooky. It's funny. The most recent session, I revealed that he has like a hummingbird stung, so it's like really long. Just get that readout on a soundboard. I wish I had a soundboard. I have a soundboard like crows. It'd be crazy. All right. So before we get going though, before we do the actual content of the stream, we have to do the submissions. It's art submissions time. Art submissions time, everybody. This month, it's October. That means that we are doing monster designs this month. Last week we didn't have any of our featured art, so I took last week's art and this week's art to feature for the month of October. So we are going to be going over some of the submissions in the stream. Submissions from the Discord. So this week, we start off with Iciobe, returning artist. They did a bunch of found footage art, so I chose my favorite one. I love this. Found footage is just so good. And like, I love this creature. I think I chose this one because it's like, oh yeah, exclamation point Discord if you want to join the Discord to submit your work. You gotta make sure that it matches the theme as well, my friends, when you submit your work. So this month is monster design. I love this creature. I like it because its silhouette is really funky and I have no clue what I'm looking at, and I think that that's what makes it interesting. It's like, I would rather, like, especially with found footage is supposed to be like weird and like uncertain and all that fun jazz, and I think that this encapsulates that really well. So well done, ICO. Thank you for submitting. Next one is by Maria Zoe Solka. I have always been a fan of like the anglerfish kind of creatures. I love that there's just like a person's face at the end of the antenna. Oh, also because this is monster design, a lot of these submissions might get a bit spooky, so I'm letting you know if you don't really like spooky stuff. I mean, why are you here if you don't like spooky stuff? But really digging this. I also just really like value painting, so I love the black and white kind of thing, but I like how messed up this monster is, and I'm like a really big fan of that weird kind of almost faith-like, Erdorf's faith, very faith-like silhouette. I think that's really cool. This next one by Morishige. I love crazy pen art. This goes crazy. I love the over like way too many details in here. The like crazy, like, I love teeth. So like I'm a huge fan of doing anything with teeth, so I love like the crazy amounts of teeth and legs and just this amalgamation of whatever the heck I'm looking at. This is a great one. I love this. This is Morishige is a returning artist as well, I believe. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. I love this one. Thank you for submitting. This next one by Onion Tunes. I looked at this and I'm like, oh, fun, pumpkin head. It's like another pumpkin head creature. What I really like is how this person used the stem of the pumpkin and use it almost as like a trail off, and like it's almost like you have like the roots as the arms. I think that's a really, really cool integration of like the anatomy of a pumpkin. I think those are really cool design traits that they've put into this monster specifically. Well done, brilliant. It's another take on the Headless Horseman almost. So I love this. Thank you for submitting, Onion Tunes. This one, amazing username in Discord, by the way, is by Rats. We're the Rats. As an individual who is secretly 742 rats in a skin suit, I'm a very big fan of that username. But I'm an even bigger fan of this piece. Good lord, I love larger than life atmospheric pieces, and this piece is beautiful. I love that the amount of teeth that are on this this eldritch worm that's coming from a foggy sky. This is gorgeous. This is a beautiful piece, and I love like, I'm just gonna keep gushing about it. I really love this. The atmospheric perspective, the fact that it trails off into the background is fantastic. I love that it's like, because then that implies that it's even bigger, right? And then you have like I think it's like a cat with a sword, and like you see that cat or like the little creature in the front, and that gives you like a perspective, an idea of how big this thing is. And that's awesome. I love that. That's awesome. That's gorgeous. All right, thank you for submitting. Rats, we're the Rats. And then I believe this is the last one. Thank you for including your username in the piece, by Simply Misha in the Discord, of their SCP Kritora. I love SCPs. SCPs are like one of my favorite things ever. And this one is really, really fun. I have one of my favorite design tropes is something that's really cute that is also really terrifying. I mean, like, you can tell with like corn, but like this, like one of my favorite design tropes is just like something that is like really cute or really adorable that has like terrifying qualities to it. Like, either they're really powerful or they can like just kind of like do something that's really, really creepy or something like that. I love that, and I think that this character encapsulates that really well, where it's like they have like this kind of like cute normal look, and then like they have like these rows of teeth, and I think that that's really, really cool. But yes, I think that's it. I think that's all of them. Yes, it is. Thank you so much for the submissions this week, y'all. Of course, there are submissions throughout the entire month of October, and then there will be more submissions after that, but this week is monster design specifically. So if you wanted to submit, make sure that they are monster designs. They don't have to be new. You can have old monster designs in there if you'd like. But thank you for submitting regardless. All right. Let's get into the actual content. All right, monster design. I actually wrote out notes for this one because I was like, I want to teach this one properly because I have a lot to say about monsters and monster design. This is your final warning. If you are a bit squeamish, if you are a bit if you do not like the monsters, please leave. Or maybe just listen, and then we'll be doing that, because I have actually just said it to myself that I will be going full tilt on the monster design. If not full tilt, then a good like maybe 70% of the way. So, because y'all voted for the axial skeleton to be my main inspiration for this thing, and I am excited. So, because I love the axial skeleton. So, but let's get into... I don't like worms. My mom has a terrible fear of worms, so like I understand. Sorry, I need to adjust my mic again. Just kind of move it away. All right, let's talk about monster design. So, I also got a new tablet. It's fun because it's, what's it called? It's fun because it's touchscreen, but my artist's glove isn't good enough for it, so I had to turn off my touchscreen so it doesn't interfere as much. You've taken too many anatomy classes, you're starting to use made-up words. No, look up the axial skeleton, it's the coolest part. The skull, the spine, and the ribs. So true, lavender lizards. Thank you. The vertebrae. My personal favorite part of the vertebrae is the cervical vertebrae because I think that one's the coolest. Okay, actually, you know what? I also like the lumbar, but I think both are pretty cool. Okay, so monster design. Different. You can tell that I'm more excited for this because I'm like, I have energy. Different. So, depending on what you're designing, right, you need to approach every creature design differently. It depends on your audience, it depends on what you want to do, what you want to achieve, right? So different monsters need different approaches when you're actually designing them. But I'm going to give you some generalized tips for all kinds of monsters, spooky and non-spooky, because not all monsters are scary. I would argue that most monsters aren't scary, but how you want to approach a scary monster versus a non-scary monster, maybe even if it's like a non-scary monster for adults versus a non-scary monster for kids, so on and so forth, right? There are different ways to approach these different designs, and how you approach them differs based on how you draw them. So, let's do some generalized tips first, though. When you said lumbar, it gave me flashbacks to x-rays of my back. Slugcat bun. I'm an individual who has had my L4 and L5 pinch one of my vertebral nerves. So I have borderline scoliosis, so I understand the pain. It's the vertebrae is the one that I know the best because of the injuries I've sustained. I'm gonna draw something after this for sure. Please, if you end up designing anything based on the stream, please, please, please either put it in submissions, or if you'd rather not have it submitted for a chance to be featured on the stream, then like, just put it in digital or traditional if you're a traditional artist. Number 1. You literally have to wear a brace for scoliosis. No! I had borderline, so like mine is my brace wasn't as crazy, and I was able to get it like mostly solved. But I apologize. That sounds horrific. Man. So expand your inspirations. It's not that bad anymore. It hurts after a few hours and I wake up. Valid. Alright. Have I ever designed something that creeped even me out? Yes, I can talk about that later on though. I've got a couple of those. So, number 1, expand your inspirations. Go farther than baseline animals and concepts, right? Go farther than baseline animals and concepts. So a lot of the times when I see people designing for the first time, they kind of get like 2 main inspiration sources, 1 or 2 main inspiration sources when they're designing something. And then they're like, okay, I'm good. Let's keep going. Don't stop there, right? Especially if you have something like, the basic one that most people start off with is like an elemental creature, right? Go further than just that element. Go further than just that thing, right? There should be a pool. There should be a broad pool that you are reaching for. Let's take that elemental concept for a second. Say if we had like a fire creature, right? Let's say that we had like a creature that's based on fire, right? If you only use like normal fire as a reference, or let's say that you only use stuff that like has fire in there, right? If you had like, maybe you're like, oh, I'm gonna use like a torch, or I'm gonna use like a flamethrower, or I'm gonna use so on and so forth, right? That's cool. Go farther. There are things called fire salamanders. There's fire opal. There's stuff that's like, that you can relate to fire in ways that you don't understand, right? You could have like fire as an emotion. That could be like when you're fired up. That's like an adjective by comparison to the actual noun, right? Maybe you want to use like the concept, like more like expand on the word fire, right? It's a slang. Maybe you want to like, based on people when they go like, oh, that's fire. Maybe you want to like play on something like that, right? You want to keep going. You want to keep going from that baseline, right? You don't want to just stick to one idea. So like a lot of the times artists may use something called a mind map. Which is also considered like a brainstorm. And it's like you know, you start with your main topic in the center. So again, let's say that we took fire. So if we had fire, right, we branch out and you can have like actual fire. And that could be like torches, matches, flamethrower. And then maybe you have like objects. Maybe you've got like fire opal. Or charred things. Maybe you could have like based on destruction, the concept of fire. Maybe there's like wildfires. Right? So on and so forth, right? Go farther than just the main idea that you have. Expand. Expand and get creative. Because if you find yourself in a rut, the monster's, like, already gonna be boring. So, number two. Number two, learn your anatomy. This point may spook you initially. Let me continue. So everything looks better. Anatomy doesn't always equal. Right? So learn your anatomy. Number two. Ooh, I'm starting to see people talk about Uncanny Valley. We're gonna come to that later. So, anatomy. Number two, learn your anatomy. Anatomy does not always mean human or organic anatomy. That's good. That's great. If you know human or other organic anatomy, brilliant. You're already like 3 steps of the way there, right? But anatomy, the real definition of anatomy is a study of the structures or internal workings of something, right? It's how stuff works. It's how you do stuff. Everything looks better when you understand it. When you understand how something actually works, how something operates, it will make your design so much better because then you'll know how to change it. You'll know how to incorporate it creatively. Anatomy is super difficult. It's super, super interesting. Hello, Crow. Welcome in. Hey, bestie. So, how are you doing today? But everything looks better when you understand it, right? One of my favorite designs that I've ever seen of a monster is somebody who took the concept of a vampire and they really changed it so it was more mechanical, and they made it so it was a little bit more man-made comparison to, oh, I've been bitten, this is what happens, right? What I saw was when somebody took the idea of like a syringe, or they took the idea of like automated like pistons and whatever, and they had it so it was like the mouth was on a hinge, and it was a piston that was activated by that hinge that caused like the teeth, which were like syringes, to suck blood out. And I thought that that was really, really cool. Yes, the notes will be on Discord afterwards. And I thought that that was a really, really cool design, right? And they had to learn how pistons worked, and they had to learn how that syringe would work, and they had to learn how all of that worked in order for that to make sense, right? That's learning anatomy. That's learning the anatomy of something, right? Everything looks better when you understand it. I'm trying to think of a design I did. I did a bunch of monster designs for my best friend. She needed like an eidolon for one of her characters, and she was like, just go crazy. It's a celestial, but just go crazy. And I was like, okay. So I was like, there was one design that I had where it was like one of the creatures, I went super like biblically accurate, not biblically accurate, I went super like alien with it, and it had a rib cage that could open and close, and like, because what the rib cage does is it protects your internal organs, and what I wanted was this rib cage to like protect its weak spot, but the rib cage also acted as its wings, or it's almost like very similar to how like a sea slug will swim, right? How its sides kind of like undulate, like they kind of move in this way, right? So that's what the rib cage did. It was like it would connect to the vertebrae in the back, and it would move like that, right? But if it was just standing there, it wasn't flying, then it would close back up, and its weak spot was no longer vulnerable, right? Learning your anatomy, learning all of this stuff, really, really important. Really, really important. Really, 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 like, good to learn. Thought process for Sunny? Sunny was very much... I wanted Sunny to really, like... For those who don't know, Sunny is my, my Eldritch god that I did for a warlock of mine. Sunny was very much just me being, like... It was self-indulgent. There wasn't really any rhyme or reason for Sunny. That was... The other Leviathan from Subnautica 2 with the glowing rib cage. Could you give me the name of it? The fun thing about Subnautica is that all Subnautica creatures are based on like actual sea creatures. The Ghost Leviathan is based on the Bobbit's worm, and it's a really, really fun, awesome design. I love that. I love Subnautica designs. They are so smart. They're so brilliant. Like, of all monster designs, I gush about Subnautica a lot. Debate some stuff, I'm never going to the ocean? No, yeah, 100%. The Leviathans are based on a lot of different... Because the thing with Subnautica is that the designers were marine biologists. So a lot of those designs are accurate. They're all accurate to things that exist. The sea angel's creepy. Bobbit worms are terrifying. I think what's really funny... I can't talk about the history of the name of the Bobbit's worm. You can Google it. You can Google why the Bobbit's worm is named the Bobbit's worm. Because it's history. I think that it's fine. But, like, for me personally, I can't actually say that. Not for me personally, but for the sake of the channel, I can't actually say it. Sea angels are beautiful. I love the sea angels. Alright. Number 3. If the ribcage opens, how would the lungs work unless the monster has gills? It wasn't like... Because the actual... The ribcage, it wasn't technically a ribcage. It acted like an external ribcage. Because when it opened up, it was like there was still like a layer of skin. The stomach was still there. It was almost like it was like an extension of those bones, in a way. Lampreys are lovely. The lamprey are a really fun design to learn from. What's the Reaper Leviathan based off of? I actually don't remember. I think part of it, like, because of the way that the front, like, mandibles close, I think it was still partially the Bobbit's worm, but I don't remember. Oh, the Reaper Leviathan was based on the oarfish, wasn't it? It was like a mix of, like, the oarfish and the Bobbits, if I had to guess. because that the scale pattern is very similar. Why did you let me search that up? Alright, number 3. Get weird. The colors too, yeah. Predators and Aliens designs are cool. Alien, 1979's Alien, that alien is still one of my favorite monster designs. It's so fun. The way that its mandible opens, there's another mandible in there. Beautiful. As a person who's never played Subnautica, I'm intrigued. Some people will say that Subnautica is a horror game. I say it's baby's first horror, but it's very fun. Number 3, get weird. Sea monsters are the most fun to design. If you're designing aliens, look for inspiration in either insects or deep sea. That's my main piece of advice. I can do weird. Same. Did I spell that right? Yeah, I did. Okay. So, get weird. Number 3, get weird. Never say never until you've tested it. When I teach my students, ! Classes, when I teach my students, one thing, whenever I teach, like, a character design class is I call it the what if method. And the what if method is just letting your brain go, what if this? What if that? What if I do this, this, right? And did we have a poll for the stream? We did. Keep getting weird. Keep getting, like, those weird ideas in. Get those strange thoughts in, right? Never say never until you've tested it, right? Because the main thing, some people, like, they'll go like, oh, actually, I don't think I like this. Or, oh, actually, I think this won't work. Or I think that won't work. So on and so forth. You'll never know until you actually test it, right? So maybe you come up with the weirdest thought process and you're like, I don't know if that'll work, and then you just never test it. That could be, like, the best design you've ever done. And like, some of my weirdest thoughts have become some of my craziest designs. If I go back to that monster that I told you I was designing for my best friend, the idea we landed on was a very biblically accurate angel thing. And my idea for that was, like, what if his whole body was just made of wings? Like, what if I just added as many wings as I could? And I was like, what if we had wings that were, like, covering up the base of the neck? Or what if we had his tail made of wings? And I was like, a tail made of wings kind of sounds fun. So I tried it. And I was like, I'm still so proud of that. Well, actually, you know what? I can grab it. I'm still so proud of how that anatomy worked. Like, with the wing tails. Like, I think that one was really, really fun. Like, when I designed it, I was like, this is so strange, and I still really, really love that design to this day. It was, because what my thought process was like, I'm just gonna add a lot of different wings on here, and we had, like, wings around, like, the vulnerable parts. And then I was like, what if instead of just a feathered tail, we had 2 extra wings that opened up into the back. So it was almost like this was like a holy fire kind of thing, because it's a celestial. And then I was like, why not wings that cover up the teeth? It's almost like a modesty cloth, so it's like you have that. And then there's, like, this almost like skin-like, wing-like face, where the horns instead protrude off of, like, the bones of the anatomy of whatever this is. and then we have the eyes between the tendons. It was really fun. It was a very, very weird design. And it was all just me going, what if I did this? What if I did that? What if I just kept on doing this kind of stuff? And we landed on this. And I think that this is still one of my favorite creature designs that I've done at this point. And it was just so much fun to work on. It was so much fun to, because every single wing is functional. Every single wing works. So that was like my main thing of like, what if it's just like, they're all just wings, but they actually like function. They actually fly, right? And it was so fun. All these concepts that I did for this creature were so fun to work on. But we had some designs that didn't work. That was not the original face for, like, that wasn't the original face for that creature, right? We had a few other designs. This was the original design. There wasn't any of that wing on the front. It was instead like more tendons on the side here, and these eyes kind of melted into each other. But we didn't really like the front silhouette, and we were like, why don't we change that? Let's actually blend it with this one. This is the ribcage design. So you see it's like a stomach underneath here, so it almost acts like that. The vertebral body, I just completely got rid of like the, I forget what those things are called, but I kind of got rid of those. But we blended these two. So I took this kind of like almost like hand mask idea thing and blended it with this one. And we kind of merged the two to create the final. But like sometimes things just don't work, right? There were two other designs. There was this weird alien one. I had a lot of fun with the concept for this one, and a more like mechy one that I also had fun with the concept for. But right? Like, some things don't work. Some things like just don't work out, right? So you just gotta, doesn't work? Try it again. Sorry, I'm eating like a cough drop right now. But thumbnail it, test it, make silhouettes, make concepts, get weird. Get weird. And those are always the most fun monster designs. We're not done here though. These next points, I'm gonna go through a lot faster because we are spending really long on this. Looks majestic somehow too. That was the thing. It was like I wanted, with Celestials and D&D, I feel like they were supposed to be like, how I've always seen them is that they're supposed to be a blend of spooky and majestic, or spooky and elegant, and I think that that's like really fun. So we're gonna split this in half here. So, we started with general monster stuff. Some of the stuff, my favorite stuff to actually draw is the scarier stuff. I really love working with really weird, scary monsters. And like if I actually intend to try and make a creature freaky, or I intend to make a creature a lot scarier, there's a few things that I always keep in mind when I work with them. Of course, monsters don't necessarily have to be scary. They can be visually, like, if you ran into them, obviously you'd run away screaming, but there's a fine line between it being like actually scary and like scary as a concept, right? If you actually want to have people get like chills down the spine when they're working on a monster, there's a lot of processes that you gotta go through. There's a lot of things that you gotta go through. It's fascinating. It's really fascinating how the human psyche works. So, number one. Creatures of Scenario. I feel like somebody else told me that name before. Oh, I see. These are like the really cute, like, yeah. Yeah, these are very dragony. Very, very dragony. I'll look it up later if I remember. Okay. Number one. How do I word this? So, number one, if you want to cause fear, you should be scared too. If you want to create something that is scary, you yourself should get scared. Real fear is the best way to make something terrifying, right? If you want, you know, the best horror comes from real fear. Use it to your advantage. My cousin is an amazing writer, and she, when we were really young, she made this story. She has a phobia of bugs, right? And she made this story. What was it? I don't remember what it was exactly, but it was a story where these group of teenagers found a hole in the back of a locker in their high school, and they fall down this hole, and it leads them to this entire huge underground world of nothing but giant insects, and they have to figure out how to get back out and how to survive. And it's the way, because she is terrified of bugs, and you could feel that terror when she wrote this story. And it was like, I remember, like, she told me this story when I was like 8, and I still remember it so vividly. It was like, there was a giant mantis. It popped up, and it killed one of the characters. And it was horrible. It was like, it was terrifying to me as a child. Because she wrote it in such a visceral way that, like, you could feel the fear coming off the pages. You could feel the fear in the words. And if you want to cause fear, you should be scared too. If you make monsters, if you make creatures based on things that you are scared of, that fear will come across in that design. And I have a lot of, I'm not scared of a lot, but there were things that, like, I was very scared of. And, like, coming from that place of fear, there was, like understanding things that make me terrified allowed me to make scarier creatures, or allow me to understand how to manipulate these creatures to make them scarier, right? How old is she? If I was 8 and she was 11. So we were very young. My cousin is a phenomenal writer. She's always been really good within the horror scene. I love horror now, but I was a huge scaredy cat when I was a kid. I only really got into horror when I was about 13, and she has just been into horror for, like, her whole life. So it was a really great time. I'm afraid to specifically close shower curtains when they're empty. Thank you, Jessie. Not gonna be a horrifying critter. There you go. Fear of the dark's a good one. Horrified of the ocean. Yep. Especially the ocean. The ocean is a really great place to get inspiration, I think, because there's a lot of really terrifying creatures down there. There's the dragonfish, I think, is a cool thing that you could take inspiration from. Just that bioluminescent thing. If you want something from the ocean that's actually terrifying to work from, don't work with the fish itself. Work with its skeleton. I think that's something hollow. Like a hollow, empty husk is a beautiful, weirdly ethereal, but, like, still terrifying creature to work from. And I think, like there was one that I saw where somebody painted, like, a quote-unquote a dead god, and they used, like, they were inspired by, like, a hollowed out, like, fish corpse, basically. It was a lot. It was super cool, though. But yeah, there's a lot of things that you can use. All right, number 2. Oh, you know what? I'll write that one after. So, Would a forest be a good one? You can have any kind of inspiration for your creatures. Also afraid of the dark, just in case of really bad imagination, because I can see some membrane form monsters with it. Psychological horror. I will always say that psychological horror should never be your first horror that you delve into. If you want to create horror, psychological horror should never be your first. It's not baby's first horror. It is not an easy horror to work with. It is probably the most difficult horror to work with. If you want to start creating horror, I would actually recommend that you either get into body horror or gore. It's like your baseline horror that you gotta start with, or just like traditional monsters or whatever, and then you can start to get into stuff like psychological or cosmic or like oceanic horror, like that kind of stuff, because that stuff is a little bit more, it's tough to do. Actually, oceanic horror is not too bad, but cosmic and like eldritch and psychological are very, very tough to get right. So that's not, like, I don't recommend it as your first horror that you actually want to create, but the oceanic psychological horror, that's eldritch horror. How would psychological horror work? Psychological horror is understanding how the human psyche works. So it's like fear that you utilize the psyche for. It's less visual, it's more letting the audience think for themselves and letting the audience make themselves scared. That's what psychological horror is, and it's really, really hard to do that. Alright, so number 2, visually unsettling things lean into uncanny valley and get very, very close to the human visage without crossing the line, right? Uncanny valley is something, it's a term that I think has gotten watered down. A lot of people will go like, oh, that's so uncanny valley, and it's really not. Uncanny valley is actually very, very tough to master. It's a concept where, like, the scarier uncanny valley is the stuff that gets so close to the human visage but has like something just slightly off, and that's what causes your alarm bells to go off. And it's tough. It's very, very tough to actually get right. I have a few things that I always kind of get, like, I have a few, like, points that I always use to, like, get, really close to uncanny valleys. So, straight teeth. Oops. Scenario. Sharp teeth. Smile. It's better than a scowl. Unblinking is better than lidded. Shift anything slightly. Long, straight teeth are definitely way scarier than sharp ones. Here's my fun thing. I love long, sharp, like straight teeth. Don't make them long vertically. Make them long horizontally. And not by changing the shape of the teeth. Just add more in there. That's creepy. That's freaky. So visually unsettling things lean into uncanny valley. My 4, or technically 3, but 4 top things that I always say. Straight teeth are scarier than sharp teeth. A smile is scarier than a scowl. Unblinking eyes are scarier than lidded eyes. Put eyes in there. Shift anything slightly. My favorite uncanny valley monster, I was telling a friend of mine this last night. One of the scariest monsters I ever heard of was from it was a story. It was an online story. It was my time as a fire and rescue person or something like that. And it was this guy, and he'd run into this person. He was trying to fix a billboard or something, and he heard footsteps behind him. Whoa. He heard footsteps behind him, so he turns around, and there's just somebody standing at the edge of the woods. And something immediately felt off about this person. And he was like, okay, I can't figure out immediately what's wrong with this guy, so he kept on staring at him. And the more that he stared at him, the more he figured out was wrong. The first thing that he noticed was that the person's face was just slightly too big for the shape of the head, right? Like, we've already done proportion streams. We know what proportions our face should be. But imagine you took every single bit of that face and just made it just a little bit too big. Just a little bit. A little bit too big for the actual shape of the face. There was that. And then this person, he noticed that this person at the edge of the woods wasn't breathing, more so imitating the motion of breathing. So forcing their chest to rise and fall in a way that was just a little bit too robotic, so it didn't feel natural. And I think that is amazing, and I think that that's really, really, really fascinating. And like, that, when I first heard it, I was listening to this at like 2 a.m. and I was like, oh. I was like, that's horrifying. I got like chills. It's so good. That was a really, really good concept, because I drew it out last night too, because like, obviously there was no physical version of it, but like so I drew it out last night. I hate to break it to you guys, but Uncanny Valley only works if you have a more realistic style. I apologize. If you work in a more cute, cartoony style, it unfortunately doesn't work as well. Because horror needs a more realistic rendering style in order for it to actually strike that kind of fear, which is why, like, some people, rather than relying on the style, they rely on the atmosphere that everything else creates, and which is like a totally valid way of working with it. Horror is just a difficult thing, but you'll notice that a lot of like actually scary horror creators lean into that more realistic, semi-realistic art style. So it is tough. It's tough overall. Plants vs. Zombies, but as a horror game. I remember there being a game like that, and I couldn't... There's a guy... Oh, no. What's his name? I can't remember his name, but I know the name of the games. Hang on. Yames. He makes terrifying games. One of the more common ones, the one that most people have seen Markiplier play him, but like one of the best ones that I think is Discover My Body. That one mixes body horror with like growth and plant life. But it's one of my favorite types of horror is horror that's treated super casually, and I think that game does it really well. Ooh, rolled nat 20, nice. Discover My Body's a really good one. There's a few by that guy that are really, really good. All his games are bangers. Okay. This is our last point that some of you may hate to hear. Gore isn't actually that scary. I'm sorry. It's a thing where, like, this is why I recommend, like, Gore as, like, baby's first horror. It's something that, like, I don't think is actually that freaky, because Gore doesn't strike fear, it strikes disgust. There's a very, very fine line between the two, right? Coraline's a fantastic movie. Less is more. Less is more with a lot of designs, and monsters are included in that, right? Gore is overdone. More subtle viscera is better than outright carnage, right? If you have, like, this creature that's, like, just really disgusting, I'm not going to describe anything, but they're, like, really disgusting, you don't want that. Like, that's not scary, that's just gross, right? So you have to find that point between fear and disgust, right? You have to find that point between something being actually scary and something just being kind of disgusting, right? Because disgust, while a totally valid emotion that you will want to strike in somebody with horror, it isn't the same as fear, right? Disgust is a very, very different emotion. They go hand in hand, but disgust is not scary. It's just like an uncomfortable feeling. But if you want somebody to get afraid, that's a completely different emotion that you'll want to strike. So, yes, those are my points. Those are my points for designing monsters, designing creatures, and horror in general. Right, these notes, again, will be available on the Discord, !Discord. They'll be available as JPEGs for you there. But let's get into the art portion, because now I just have an hour left. Alright. What about horror, but instead of it being monsters or gore, it's just stuff that happens IRL? Oh, that's just, like, true crime. Yeah, that works. See, the thing with, like, IRL horror is that it's a fine line to tread, because it can be it can be insensitive, so you have to be, like, really careful with it. And, like, horror creators are, like, masters at being creative with their horror, because being creative and sensitive with their horror, because stuff like what you mentioned and, like, other, like, real world stuff can be done in poor taste, and it is really, really tough to do something that is not in poor taste, right? So that kind of horror, like IRL horror, is something that, like, I just don't recommend as, like, a first-time thing. Well, less is more work for monster designs, for more detailed ones. If you want to make them actually scary, no. Like, that's just my straight-up thing. No. If you have too much going on in a design, it's more that your brain has to focus on, and it's more that you have to kind of, like, poke around and figure out. And then that starts to lean into the disgust era. So, our lovely poll that we had for this week was all about what you wanted me to focus on for the monster design at the end. I've only got an hour, so I'll do my best. But you wanted me to focus on the axial skeleton. For those who don't know, the axial skeleton is the skull, the spine, and the rib cage. Or the the skull, the vertebrae, and the rib cage. So if you didn't know that, that's what we're focusing on today. There's the axial skeleton and the appendicular skeleton, which would have been the arms and the legs. Can monsters be more scary when they're simple? That was my thing. Bendy's a cartoon. It's supposed to be simple. Here's my controversial opinion. I don't think Bendy's scary at all. I think Bendy's very adorable. The concept for Bendy and the Ink Machine, Five Nights at Freddy's, that whole thing, that's in the horror world, that's considered horror for kids. It's very jump scare heavy. It doesn't have, like, it's not crazy spooky. It is an original design, but it's not scary. It's very, like, it's horror for kids. It's like baby's first horror. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that, like, if you're gonna get into horror and you start with something like Bendy or something like that, it'll get the creative juices flowing, and I think that's really fantastic. But, like, stuff like that, not that scary. If you wanted horror. Of course, it's like, it is a type of horror, though. There's nothing wrong with a type of horror. But actually, like, wanting to, you know, create something terrifying, Bendy, I don't think is a good example. Little Nightmares is very, very good at riding that line, because Little Nightmares, I think, is I love Little Nightmares. It's a way, how do I explain Little Nightmares? It's so like both terrifying and not terrifying at all. And I think Little Nightmares is a good bridge from Baby's First Horror to getting into real horror. Or not, not real horror. Baby's First Horror to harder to handle horror. I guess that's a better way to put it. But yeah, oh yes, 100%. Little Nightmares is so good. It uses really, it's fantastic body horror. The way that it works with like, what's it called? The way that it works with like, really mucking up that anatomy and really like the sagged skin and like the especially the teacher in Little Nightmares 2. I think that's like my favorite creature from like the Little Nightmares series. I think that it's really fun. See, like, I have no ideas for this. I had ideas and now I just don't have them anymore. And I'm like, I think it's just because I drew a lot of monsters yesterday because I was doing very meh. So I was like, I'm gonna get some monsters out of my brain. And now I have like no inspiration. It's fun because I've learned so much anatomy now. Like, I'm like, I know how bones work. Long fingers are so overdone though. Like, I love me some good long fingers, but like, because I need to focus on the axial, right? My favorite horror movie, Hereditary. It's the only one that's been able to scare me. Do I think Huggy's scary? No. Absolutely not. I'm sorry if you really liked Huggy. That sounded really mean. I don't think it's that scary. I think it's kind of boring. Now I want to read that firefighter horror story. It's a fire and rescue. If you want to find it, it's on YouTube. If you actually want to know, it was read by Corpse Husband. It's one of his old videos. Yes, it is the only movie that's ever scared me. What if... Y'all want me to get weird? Y'all want me to get really weird? What's it about? I shouldn't have said the name of it, so I can't- I realize I shouldn't have said the name of it. So, if you want to Google it, you can. I've heard about that movie, Melody. Yeah, I didn't trust it because it looked really similar to, another horror movie that sucked. And I was like, but apparently it's not that bad. So I'm like, now I'm kind of curious. Go for it, your show. I wish, Joe. No, not 100%, but, let's see. Hey, Em, welcome back. Glad to have you here. Spooky horror needs a good rendering style. Obviously, I only have an hour left, so I can't render this out perfectly, but like, I also kind of have like my thing expended. I'm realizing I probably actually shouldn't go this full tilt now that I started. I really want to. Moral dilemma. It's okay. It's okay. We're fine. It's okay. weeks you guys wanted me to focus on the axial skeleton, and I can do that. I just need to remember. How did I draw great eyes so quickly? Fun fact, I spent a really long time practicing how to do Uncanny Valley eyes just for myself. Just because eyes are the windows to the soul. If you can make really, really good eyes, you're like 50% of the way there. Do I think Freddy Krueger is scary? I don't think so anymore. I think he probably was straight in the beginning. Here's the fun thing about classic horror villains and monsters and whatever. Not many of them are actually that scary anymore. And the reason for that is because they're part of such popular culture and popular, like, you know, like, just trends and whatever, that it's just not, they don't feel scary anymore. Because we, as people, have just, like, you know, watered them down. It's the same thing with, like, vampires. Vampires and like, werewolves and whatever. Like, they're not really scary to us anymore. Because we as people have watered them down so much and changed how they are so much to a point where they don't really feel that scary to us anymore. You know? This is really weird. What'd I say? I don't like that. Let's just not with that. What do you think stuff like the concept of infections and stuff? If I'm being totally honest, I think that zombies and that kind of stuff are like one of my least favorite horror tropes. I think it's just, I don't know. I don't find them interesting. It's rare that I actually see one of those like infections or something like that that actually interest me. What am I drawing? La Critura. It's what's under your bed at night. La Critura. See, it's so... This is why, like, very classic monsters are rarely done in film anymore. Because they're so overdone. Horror and fear is a finite resource. It's not something that'll last forever. Not everybody will be scared of the same things forever, right? So that's why people constantly strive to do something new with art, or with horror, because you gotta get new with it in order for it to be interesting again. Avatar does have really good creature designs. Have I played Carrion? No, I have watched a playthrough though. I think Carrion is really, really fun. I think it's a really funny game. The de-evolutionization of humans been done horrifically all wrong. De-evolutionization. No. Evolutionize. Go further. What happens if we need more limbs? What happens if we need more teeth? You do realize that the fact that we are scared of Uncanny Valley means that somewhere, at some point in history, we as people had to run from something like this. Sit with that for a bit. Just sit with that knowledge for a second. Oh, Joanne, we're gonna have to update the exclamation point device thing. So I'm no longer using a Cintiq 13HD, I'm using a Cintiq 13-inch companion hybrid. Because my tablet's different now. Which one you said it's Aaron? But I know exactly what you're talking about. What program are you using? It is Photoshop today. I crave cheddar. On my way at 3 AM to eat the shredded cheese from the bag. The horror gremlin is la criatura. I love horror fans calling the creepiest things really cute. I think it's really funny, but I know that for actual horror artists, it's like the most annoying thing anyone can say. Like, I love horror art, I just don't do it frequently enough to the point where I think that I can be classified as, like, a professional horror artist. But I know that professionals hate that. It looks like it's questioning its own existence. Same, me every day. Relatable content. He is absolutely flabbergasted. Bro is straight flabbergasted. You could Jessie? No, never. Their eyes look unfocused. Yep, that's the point. The less focused the eyes, the less human the expression feels. I want them eyes to look glassy, you know what I'm saying? No thoughts, head empty. Bro, that head is absolutely empty. The rest of its body is empty. Dangerous because you don't know where they're looking. I didn't even think of that. That's true. It's almost like, because it's like they're not even paying you enough mind to look directly at you. In a way. I think that's fun. Your little gremlin is not paying attention to the stream. He will never draw horror. I'm gonna be real. I don't think he will anyway. He's not. He doesn't have opposable thumbs. What shall we name him? The first name that came to my brain is Lumbar, which is, like, I couldn't, like, I guess it's just because most of his body is made up of the... No, it's the thoracic. Spine is making up most of his body. La Criatura. You know, I probably should have thought of La Criatura. That should have been the first thing I thought of. Name him Jerry. I love how normal all of these names are. I appreciate it. I want to do a different kind of eye. Hang on. Let's try this again. Some good names. Yeah, they're great. Name him Marbles. Stop. Listen, fellow Ludwig fan. I can't. Nicki Minaj. No. Chalky Milk. Oh my gosh. That's his name. That's his name. I'm sorry. All the other names. His name is Chalky Milk. That's it. His name is Chalky Milk. Master Oogway. Chalky Milk. His name is Chalky Milk. It was Chalky Milk. He's sippy the chalky milk. That's how he got those amazing bones. You're so right, Joanne. So he got those amazing bones. How many of y'all dressing up for Halloween? What are you going as? I'm gonna go as a jester. Very nice. We'll dress as Chalky Milk. Hornet from Hollow Knight. Nice. Oh, it's a panda. Super cute. I'm just eating the candy. Bro, I have an exam on Halloween, so, like, I understand. That won't stop me from dressing up, though. NPC from Beholder 3. Nice. Sal from Sally Face. Excellent choice. Plague Doctor? I was a Plague Doctor when I was 14. That was one of my favorite costumes. Headman sewn on possum ears, doing nothing more than that. I wore that costume last year, but I don't care. That's okay, man. It works. I am going... Like, I don't go trick-or-treating. I'm in my 20s. I don't do that. But, like, I still dress up. I'm going as the Lamb from Cult of the Lamb, so that's gonna be fun. Jessie remembers my name or if I'm still brackets smiley face right. I'm sorry, I don't. I apologize. Yeah, I'm going as the Lamb from Cult of the Lamb. I love that game so much, so I'm like, I am super excited. Because I already have, like, I have cow ears. They're quote-unquote demon cow ears. So they look like, because I have those, like, realistic animal ears, and the one that I have, like, it's so similar to, like, just the lamb ears anyway, so I'm like, that'll be great. I have to craft my own horns though, which is fine. That'll be fun to work with. And then I gotta sew the actual cloak, so that'll be fun. Go to a convention though, do it. It's fun. I love conventions. I've never cosplayed for a convention, but I've been to many conventions. I think they're a lot of fun. Chalky Milk is 100% judging me. He sees all with these eyes, dude. Judging everything. My guy be tripping. My guy is zooted, dude. That's why he's Chalky Milk, because he's got, like, the best Chalky Milk. Cake, I'm sorry. I'll try to remember. There's a lot of people in stream. Chalky Milk looks kind of done, as am I. I'm on reading week now, but, like, Lord knows. I need, like, several reading weeks. Hang on. Yeah, that's what I thought. Alright. Looks like he got 10 pounds of green in the back. Help me. Okay, so the exclamation point device people. The Cintiq 13 HD is different. I am now using a Cintiq companion hybrid. 13-inch. PC is the same, though. We have to stage an intervention for Chalky Milk. No, it's okay. He'll be fine. He's been dead for eons. Let him have this. He eepy. He's so eepy. He's so eepy. He just needs a friend. Y'all think we should do ears or just the canals? It's me when I wake up, Sam. Why do you hate me, mother? Just canals? Alright. I'm seeing a resounding just canals. What brush am I using? I am using Kyle's Ultimate Pencil. Fluffy ears! Ear canal. No ear. See, I'm not about to just Google. Okay. Fascinating. Bird's ear canal? Thank you. I was trying to decide which animal to look up. No, not just bird. Just a bird ear. Okay. I was like debating on whether I should look up lizards or birds. Cause I'm like either or would have worked. MG just won't look like me. Shrek ears. I'm not giving him Shrek ears. It's very subtle values. I'm really working on this one as if it was like a pencil piece, like I was actually just working with graphite. Which I haven't actually done in a really long time, like a proper graphite drawing, so like this is kind of therapeutic. Saitama Bald Shine, no. Yeah, my favorite kind of horror is casual horror. Everyone's just like, yeah, this is just how it be. But it's like the most terrifying thing you've ever thought of. And they're like, yeah, no, it is how it is. Oh, I guess I forgot to ask. It's kind of late, though. Is my audio okay? It's kind of late, though, so I guess it doesn't matter. If you give him Chalky Milk, he might let your family go. That's why his name is Chalky Milk. There you go. I cut out a little bit. Do I really? Let me just turn myself down just a little bit to hopefully not cut out too much. Have ever done a video on fantasy creatures such as dragons? Yeah, it's old. Like, I haven't done, like, how to do them. Like, this is, like, the first, like, monster design or creature design kind of thing. But we have done, like, videos on it. Of just me drawing them, though. Yes, there is a whole video. There are multiple videos on animal anatomy. There's lots of different ones. I literally just drew a really crazy skeleton. Y'all want to see? I drew a really crazy skeleton recently for school because I had to for an anatomy class. Outline each individual tooth. It's actually a good idea. I should probably do that. All right, let's find this then. So what we had to do is we had to get a pose. We had to get a pose from the internet. I can't show it because it's nudity. But we had to draw an anatomically accurate skeleton. I did this in one night. I shouldn't have done it in one night. But we had to draw an anatomically accurate skeleton based on the pose that we saw. And we had to actually, like, make it, like, realistic. And then we had to label it. So we have all the different labels, like, scientific labels of everything. But yeah, like, I have a scientific anatomy class for art university. We had to label all the visible things. Oh my god, thank you for the almost $100 donation, Simp Lord. I'm in the middle of time. Thank you so much. Simp Lord. I love that username. Thank you. I appreciate it. Skeleton looking fabulous. Yeah, I wish I could show you the actual pose, but it is a nude figure, so I can't. But these ribs are so wrong, and I was like, I gave up by that point. Thank you so much for the donation again. I don't know what else to say. Like, it's so large. Good lord. Thank you. Yeah, no, it was a lot of pain and suffering, and I was not doing okay. Outline his teeth. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. Because you should. Drawing individual teeth is the perfect way to make horror more apparent. You know what I'm saying? There we go. That does look better. Fantastic. Chunky Milk is my pet. Take him for once. Chunky Milk. Yeah, I should actually make these smaller. Let's give him like real graveyard teeth. You know how much somebody loves horror based on the attention that they give to the teeth. Got little chompers there. Oh, that looks so fun. That looks great. Oh, Natrix! I follow Natrix on my own personal account. Pearly white chompers. How does a poisonous dragon use their poison? You should look up varying snakes and varying frogs, and those will give you an idea of how that anatomy works. I know that snakes have like a venom sac that injects from their teeth, or it's like venom that like, because their teeth act almost like syringes. Small line across the face at the end of the jaw so the mouth can open really wide. The fun thing about that is I have a design like that. Oh, right. Somebody asked if I'd ever done a design that actually scared me. Yes, I've done two. There was the first one that I did when I was much younger, and it was my first time trying Uncanny Valley. because I'd never done it before, but I was like, oh, this is actually something that kind of freaks me out. Let's try making something based off of it. It freaked me out. Like, I'm older now. It doesn't really scare me that much anymore, but it scared the crap out of me when I drew it when I was younger. And I was like, oh, shoot. That's actually scary. The other thing that I designed was I'm pretty sure I've talked about it on stream before, but I had a game concept called Karen's Chicken Strips, and what it was gonna be was a survival horror where Karen, the mom, had summoned a demon, and she thought that it failed, so she left her sister to babysit her kid the next day, but what happened was the demon possessed the baby's body. So with the baby, so the baby like transforms into this giant demon creature, and you have to survive. That's what it was. And like designing it was very much just because the son is a baby. It's just it's a child. So I drew a lot of baby body horror. It was a lot. It was freaky. For me as a 12th grader when I designed that for the first time, because there was a couple expressions that I really wanted to like push, and it was fun. Fun fact, that was my final assignment for school for grade 12. My teacher loved it. She thought it was really cool, but I remember my favorite she gave me one of my favorite compliments ever on my work, and she was like, Jess, I think I'm gonna have nightmares tonight when I grade this. And I was like, thank you, miss. Your parents watching my watch history? Nah, my parents know what I watch. They know that I'm weird. It's just... they know how much I like freaky stuff. They have a freaky daughter, and that's just how it is. They have a weird daughter. You just accepted it. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm weird. My whole family's weird. It's just how it be. Because we're a family of artists, right? So it's just kind of how it be. It is what it is. Exactly. It is what it is. Designing horror for ARG is different from designing horror for a GE story. No. Not really. Like, I guess it's more like the mechanics, because obviously in ARG you have to take in real world factors as well. But other than that, like physical design wise, not really. There are smarter decisions you can make, like maybe if you're making like a monster for a game, then you can go a little bit more full tilt. If you're making one for like a hand-drawn animation, you might want to make it a little bit more simple, that kind of thing. Just leave it like this. Just a little spine. It's like a Junji Ito creature. Oh shoot, which story was it? It was either Uzumaki or Gyo. Which one had I think it was Gyo, actually. Which one parents were as accepting as yours? Really hesitant to get me into art school. Yeah, it's... being an artist is really risky. I guess that's why a lot of parents are kind of, like, iffy about it. I'm lucky to have grown up in a very, like, arts-heavy family. Ooh, I definitely drew this spine wrong. It's okay. Let's just... My anatomy professor should not be watching the stream. I definitely forgot the spinal processes. That's what it's called, right? The spinal process? I literally just looked at my notes. That's what it is, right? The spinous process. Okay, I was close. The spinous process. I haven't added that yet. The Chills voice, number 15. Anatomy teacher in your stream. No, miss, please. It's okay, we're not grading you. This is true. This is true. I don't even grade my own students' exclamation point classes. I just give them feedback. The classes plug midway through all the time. Chucky sleeps in the attic. No, you need to give him like a nice dog bed. He deserves to be comfy. If he's cold, you're cold too. Let him in. Number 15, the neighbor's kid. Your mom told you to play with the neighbor's kid, but you're really not in the mood to. Perfect scary dog, it's true. Processes, yeah. I'm missing the processes and the fossa and whatnot. Part of me is just like, I don't really want to add it in because I'm like, it's gonna take forever. Like the spine, like when I drew it for like this, it took like quite literally each one of these like spine bits, like the whole spine, because I drew this all out first before I added the rib cage. But this whole section took 4 hours, 4 to 5 hours, and I was like, I was so dead inside by the time I got to like the iliac crest and the pelvic, like the pelvic girdle. I was so mad. What does Chalky like to eat? Chalky Milk is a really big fan of freshly cooked turkey. Chalky drinks Chalky Milk and that's it. He loves his turkey with a fresh glass of Chalky Milk. But it needs to be like the good Chalky Milk. Like, you know, like when you get like a chocolate bomb? That's like actually like malted chocolate? That's the one. Does he eat milk bone? Good question. You know what? I'm feeling especially lazy today. I'm just gonna, like, ignore the spinal processes for now. School chocolate milk, like the cartons. Okay, how do I draw this again? I don't remember how to draw the pelvic bone. Because I know that there's the... Okay. Okay, yeah. I needed to remember how to draw the sacrum. School chocolate milk is nasty, it's true. Okay, here's the thing. When I got my chalky milk from school, I loved my chalky milk from school, right? Maybe this, I don't know, maybe it's a Canadian thing, but like, I loved my chalky milk from school. Like, getting older now, and, like, being spoiled by, like, really nice, high-quality, like, chalky milk, like... That's Chalky's head, good dog. It's so intriguing. I'm glad you're intrigued about our conversation about chocolate milk. The sacrum has... 5 pits? Yes, 1, 2... Yep, something like that. And then it's like... Something like that. It's close enough. Chalky milk listens to Don't Worry, Be Happy. Slowed reverb on loop. Every bone in Chalky is made of a type of chocolate. Is it like, you know, those like really stupid challenge videos where they're like, is it real or is it chocolate? They bite into it. If you bit into Chalky milk, he is made of nothing but chocolate. What happened to Annabelle? She had a little bit of an incident. But it's okay. I think she prefers this. I mean, he has brown chocolate bones? No, it's white chocolate. Somebody else mentioned it's white chocolate. The pelvic girdle is in the shape of a butterfly. I'm just making milk. Each bone is like a part of an advent calendar. Help me. Does Chalky Milk disintegrate like a witch if you throw water on them? No. You can't throw water. You have to, because he's made of white chocolate, you have to like throw milk on him. So then you can get chalky milk. That's the meta, guys. Thanks, Pelvic Region. Thank you. Pelvic girdle. It's the shape of a butterfly. It is though. So you have the iliac crests that kind of fold up like this. It's like a oh yeah, there you go. Right, chalky milk. Because he can turn into really good chalky milk. His weakness is his name. I love how unhinged you guys are today. This is horror. I love how much, like, it's so weird. Like, I've said this when I was younger. Like, it's so weird how much horror brings people together, because it's like the ridiculousness of the situation just makes everybody a lot funnier. I haven't had this much fun on stream in a while. What happens if I give Chalky Milk expired milk? He'll eat you. He'll eat you. You're wearing my headphones? Oh, nice. Yeah, no, these are sick. I love the Logitechs. Do we have a crunch? He definitely do got a crunch to him. I mean, look at him. He's nothing but bones. he's a bony boy. But you know it's strong because he got that chalky milk. Does Chalky Milk have a son? No, he is the son. It's my son. Chalky Milk. I hate that. It's so funny. It's tempered chocolate. Yeah. Calcium. So he hides under the bed because he's scared of humans drinking him. It's so true. We'll try and get arms. What do you mean? These are his arms. He's like his R1s are his arms. What size is Chalky Milk? He is the same size as a Chihuahua. That's what I envisioned anyway. He'll like crawl up towards you like a Chihuahua and beg for like sustenance. He's tiny, he's small. Yeah, I like to think that he's like the size of a Chihuahua. And he walks up to you and says stuff in like Markiplier's voice. Like, Father, Father. If Markiplier was Chalky Milk, he would walk up to you and say, hello everybody, my name is Chalky Milk. I'm on something today, I'm sorry. I don't know it. Hey, where's the gabagoo? Scuttle, scuttle, mother help him. I'm crying. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's so good. Oh my god. You need to draw more horror on stream. This is great. Which cow created him? Me. I'm the one with the cow ears. I'm good. We're good. Chucky barks at the mailman. He barks in Markiplier's voice. No, it's so awful. You know, like the wolf video. That one. Chalky Milk doesn't have scapula. He runs with the cartilage at the end of his ribs. Does Chalky have a Lixian? Maybe. Maybe he's got a Lunky instead. Makes the Minecraft skeleton sounds. Oh my god. Hello everybody. This is the Chalky Milk 22564. So true. Chalky Milk 6 numbers. With the bad Pinocchio voice? Father. Father, when can I leave to go on my own? I've got the whole world to see. Is Chalky one of a kind, or are multiple Chalkies out there waiting to be discovered? That's for you to find out. You gotta go out into the world. You gotta touch grass and figure it out. Chalky looks like he would be a great cook. He would be really, really good at cooking bone marrow and nothing else. Actually, you know what? That's not true. Chalky Milk would also be really good at cooking, like, just... would it be considered cooking if you make chocolate milk? I don't think so. Chalky player? Too bad I haven't touched grass for the whole week, loser. Joke's on you! If he cooks, won't he melt? Only if he falls into the pot with the milk. Chalky's toy review. What started Chalky exactly? Whatever happened to full versions of simple words? Good question. I don't know. I think this is funnier. There's so much Chalky lore. Streams coming up with Chalky lore, Joe. It's just how it be. I'm sick. Oh, I got sick this week too, man. Solidarity. Marketable plushie Chalky Milk. I'm so down. Bro, if anybody wants to make a marketable plushie out of Chalky Milk, please send it to me. I haven't been able to sew in a very long time, so... A marketable plushie, please. Please don't make him a marketable plushie, no. Don't turn Chalky Milk into a marketable plushie. I would also buy that. A P.O. Box? No. It was like a half joke. Mother, don't make me. Mother, please. Don't turn me into a marketable plushie, mother. Can I pet Chalky Milk? Cautiously. You can pet Chalky Milk, but you can only pet him once. With that, I guess you could pet him twice. If you decide to use both hands. Must be done, son. It's a necessary evil, son. Is this thing Chalky Milk? Yeah, that's his name! His name is Chalky Milk! What does Chalky eat? Thanksgiving turkey. Happy Thanksgiving, Canadians. It's our Thanksgiving weekend this week. Oh my god. Can I play his ribs and spine like a xylophone? I don't think so. If his lore is that he's made of chocolate, then like I don't think it would sound very good. Souls of the innocent. A bagel. Now. 2 bagel. You should show your mom her new grandchild. You know what's funny? My mom loves horror. So she would like... She'd actually probably like this. She'd think it's weird, but like she'd like it. I love my mom. She's the worst person to watch horror with though, because my mom will scream at everything. So like, even if something like not scary happens, she'll like scream and we're like, mother. He's just misunderstood, pensive. So true. Chalky milk, an adult or child. Who knows? Sounds like me. Doesn't that make her the best person to watch horror with? No! Because then it's like sometimes somebody will just walk around the corner and she goes, ah! And we're like, mother, stop! Because we're not scared at the movie. We get scared from her. Chalky is a Fortnite gamer. Absolutely. Chalky milk. No. Chalky milk. Chalky milk plays with the Goku skin on Fortnite only. And plays Roblox daily. Can I wear him like a boa? Maybe. Try hard enough. Real? Is it? We told you it's real. The Goku skin. I don't play Fortnite. Is it a skin or is it like a character you can choose? I don't play Fortnite. Okay, I know I've started to learn like Dragon Ball story, like because a friend of mine, Crow Scarecrow Sketch on Twitch, he was in here earlier. He's streaming right now actually, but he bought DBZ Kakarot and he was like, y'all want to watch me play it? And I'm like, I don't know anything about Dragon Ball. He's like, don't worry, I could teach you. So like I've been getting just like the DBZ like story from this game alone. So I'm like, I've never actually watched DBZ, but I know like somewhat how DBZ goes just because of that game. He'll probably stab you like a scorpion with his tailbone. No. Remember, he's made of chocolate. It's not, he doesn't hurt. It's fine. You can melt him. He's like the Wicked Witch of the West. Chalky plays with the boys. So true. These ribs are so wrong. I don't care. I think he's fun. Oh, we got 10 minutes left, lol. Let's speed up a little bit. We're almost done. It's okay. I wonder who are the boys to Chalky? Well, he's the axial skeleton, so the boys are the appendicular skeleton. Why is his face made of skin, but his body is bone? I have no answer. Will Chalky Milk come back? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe I'll let my friends use him in a D&D campaign, and then I'll talk about it. I have a lot of DM friends, so... It's his mask, because that's what the point of the mask is, right, guys? That's what the point of the mask is. Sorry. I read Gore the cat's name. No. No. This face reveal's crazy. This Chalky Milk. Oh my god, I'm crying again. Fun fact, it took me like half a year to actually decide to go watch that video. The music video. Oh, it's so funny. Chalky Milk needs his normal pills. Should I stop saying says? I don't like typing that word, it's up to you, man. That's the point of Damascus, so true. What? That is crazy, dude. See, we're supposed to have 12 ribs. Like, hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to put in the other 6. Ay vey. Sorry, can you hear the car alarm going off outside? Oh, well, clearly not, because my mic isn't. A bow and a top hat. There we go. Turbo beep. Okay, you could hear it. I'm both really concerned and intrigued with what I'm looking at. It's just chalky milk, man. He's just our friend. He's just a friend. That's it. That's all. What's with the point of the mask? I see. He's just chilling. He's just vibing. I'm gonna record this stream on like a stone tablet, put it in Latin, so when older humans find it, they will think it's some kind of meeting at a major point in history. Let's go. Chalky milk, actually a deity? Pog? Pause champ? Let's go. Friend zoning chalky milk, no. He sleeps under your bed so you're never alone at night. So true. No way. I'm witnessing the birth of a deity. No way, guys. Will chalky milk melt in heat? Unfortunately, yes. If he's made of white chocolate, then yes. To a certain temperature, he will indeed melt in heat. That's what the... I keep singing it. I hate it. I hate this. Chalky milk forever. I love chalky milk. Chalky stays inside though. Chalky champ. Chalky's opinion on vanilla milk. Chalky milk loves vanilla milk. I feel like chalky milk would be a big fan of vanilla milk. They're brothers in arms, you see. It's like yin and yang. You can't have one without the other. If there is chalky milk, then that implies that there is indeed a vanilla milk somewhere else. Vanilla milk is the appendicular skeleton! So true! Chalky like strawberry milk? Yeah. So, if this is chalky milk, then that means that vanilla milk is the axial... the vanilla milk is the appendicular skeleton. And then... strawberry milk is like the nervous system. We'll say it's that. Vanilla milk is probably a cat. Dark chocolate is his rival. They have a fight as long as like the Goku versus Frieza fight. Love the nervous system. Me too. Banana milk? Let's say that banana milk is like the digestive system. I couldn't tell you why. That's just how I feel. It's canon now. Banana milk is mentor. It's a mentor. I hate the digestive system, do you? We getting sciencey up in here. Coconut milk? See, because coconut milk isn't like from like a cow. It isn't like lactose. So coconut milk isn't like part of like the human anatomical system. So maybe coconut milk is like like an exoskeleton of like a bug. No GI tract. What's my opinion on the prokaryotic cells? You know, I'ma have to say that I prefer the eukaryotic cells. I haven't taken biology in a very long time, so I don't remember if I'm using that right or not, so I apologize to science nerds if I botched that. Coconut milk is an abomination. Chalky milk is a precious little bean. Yeah, look at him. Isn't he great? I love chalky milk. Chalky milk forever. Chalky milk nation, guys. Hashtag chalky milk. Chat, can we get a hashtag chalky milk nation? Let's get that trending on Twitter. Let's not. Let's get a hashtag chalky milk nation, everybody. Hashtag chalky milk nation. Chalky milk 5 ever. So true. This stream is insane. I love this. Chalky milk nation, y'all. Chalky milk nation. So good. We're almost done here, guys, by the way. We got about 2 minutes left. I'm almost done chalky milk as well. I think we did some pretty good work on chalky milk right now. I'm tempted to put do it. Do it. It'll make no sense unless you were here. Chalky milk nation. Do it. Do it. Yeah, baby. That's what I've been waiting for. It's what it's all about. You know, I was prepared today to talk about a few things, just like to chat about a couple things. Like I may have started talking about like Kim Jong-ji and his legacy, or like the Mario Bros movie. We've been talking about chalky milk for like an hour. Will he grow if he's angered? If I disobey chalky milk, will he spontaneously enlarge to consume me? I don't think so. I like to think that chalky milk, if you anger him and if he does expand, then it'll be very similar to like how like Kirby eats stuff, where it just kind of gets transported to a void, because clearly he doesn't have a stomach. Yeah, Kim Jong-ji was an absolute legend. Absolutely phenomenal artist. The nervous system is so scary, though. It does look very freaky. I was very tempted to have the nervous system be one of the options in the poll this week, but I was like, you know, I actually don't want to draw that. Because that's gonna take way too long. Alright, that's 6 o'clock, but I just gonna have, like, the finishing touches. Let's hope that I don't get in trouble for this demo. Let's go. I think it's fine. It's fine. We're fine here, right? We started a Chalky Milk Nation. This is a great time. We're having a great time here. I think I went like full tilt, did I? I don't think so. Yep, this is a weird one, alright. That's okay. We're Chucky's amazing, thank you. This live chat makes me feel like the guy in the Can I Get a Waffle? Can I please get a waffle? It's been a very educational stream. Yeah, because we got so much chalky milk lore. Alright, yo. That is 6 o'clock. Thank you so much for joining. If you don't know too much about the studio, if you're new here, hey, welcome in. Sorry that you had to pop into nothing but talking about chalky milk. But if you don't know too much about us, don't know too much about the channel, we're not just a YouTube channel, we are also an art studio. So if you'd like to check out the classes that we offer, be sure to check them out. Nope, this one. Be sure to check them out on our website, wingcanvas.com. Check out the classes that we offer, check out the things that we offer over there. If you'd like to support us, or no, if you'd like this Oh, my PG tuber is over top of the ad. That wasn't intended, okay. If you would like this demo, Chalky Milk, and the actual demo that we started with, you're gonna have to join our Discord. Exclamation point Discord, exclamation point socials. You'll be able to join the Discord, submit art for the beginning of the stream, take a look at the JPEGs for these demos, download them, save them, keep them, do whatever you want with them. Chalky Milk Nation forever, right? So we'll have those up on the Discord, but if you like my working files, you're gonna have to join our Patreon and or our YouTube membership. Over there, you'll be able to get some fun little perks. There's class recordings, there's demo working files, all that fun jazz. You'll be able to see all of that there, little as $5 a month over on either or. All right, next stream is with, let's see, who's streaming Sunday? It's actually, do we have a stream this Sunday? Oh, we don't. Okay, so no stream this Sunday. So next stream is going to be with me, next week, Friday. Yes? Oh no, next stream is... Whoa, what? Okay, so we have that today. Hang on. We're missing one for the 14th. Was I not supposed to stream today? Was I supposed to stream today? I don't remember. No, yeah, there's no stream this Sunday, but there's no stream for next week Friday either. Okay, that's fine. Okay, well, the next stream, I'll see about next week Friday, but next Sunday is Drawing Mouths, so we'll see what happens there. But yes, that's what's happening next stream. So thank y'all so much for joining, everyone. Someone made an account, oh no. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. I'll see y'all in a couple weeks. Bye-bye.